A former Playboy model is looking back at what she calls a wonderful 3-day fling with Donald Trump. But decades later, she says no good came out of talking about it. As per RadarOnline.com, Sandra Taylor was just in her early 20s when she briefly dated the president in 1991, shortly after his split from his first wife, Ivana. At the time, she was a young model in New York, grieving the loss of her father and trying to find her footing. Trump, 20 years older, had reportedly seen her photo on the cover of New York Magazine and reached out. Their romance was short, just 3 days, but Taylor has described it as meaningful. She recalled a romantic walk along Central Park South where they passed a homeless man. And that's when, she said, Trump turned to her and said, quote, "Do you see that guy there? He's worth about $50 million more than I am." It was a moment of self-awareness during a time when his businesses were struggling. She says he was kind to her, supportive, even influential. In fact, she claims he persuaded her to change her name from Sandy Korn to Sandra Taylor, the name she still uses today. But while the fling ended quietly back then, the story didn't stay buried. Everything changed in 2015. That's when Taylor spoke publicly about their brief romance during the early days of Trump's presidential campaign. And that's when she says the nightmare began. She now admits, quote, "I regret mentioning it at all. No good came out of it. Only negative came out of it." According to Taylor, the backlash was intense. She says she was flooded with abuse from critics simply for sharing her personal memories. Years later, while promoting the film Mother's Day alongside Jennifer Aniston and Kate Hudson, she was asked a question that reignited the firestorm. Was Trump good in bed? Her response, she said, quote, "Oh my gosh, he was great. I think he'd be a terrific president." She insists it wasn't meant to be political, just a reflection of her experience decades earlier, but that one comment was enough. She says the attacks that followed were life-changing. Quote, "Talking about certain things really makes you wonder if you should just stay quiet." Now 59, Taylor says she still stands by how he treated her back then. She describes him as educational, generous with advice, and kind during a vulnerable period in her life. Quote, "He was wonderful to me. Whether you like his politics or not, as a person, he was good to me." She emphasizes that she was just a teenager living in New York at the time, and to her, he was supportive when she needed it most. But she also admits the fallout from going public has stayed with her. Quote, "That really was life-changing." What began as a brief 3-day romance turned into something far more lasting, not because of what happened between them, but because of what happened after she spoke about it. And decades later, she says the memory may have been wonderful, but the consequences still haunt her.